All right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight we are going to break down our predictions for the AFC North. Before we do that, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. We are growing the channel and growing the family, and as always, we appreciate you hitting us in the comments as well, letting us know. Do you think we're crazy? Do you think the Browns are really going to win the AFC North? None of us do. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that now. So, as always, hit us in the comments. So, I know this is obviously your division, so you're going to have some, bias love for a certain team. But we'll see what you think. I got a feeling I know who you're going to say, and I got a feeling I know who he's going to say. So, who wants to go first?
Keith, go ahead. Take it first.
AFC North. Who's finishing first? You can say who's finishing last, or you can put them in order, whatever you want to do, top and bottom.
I think Cincinnati's going to roll it again.
Yep.
I mean, they did nothing but improve their team. I mean, they didn't lose anything. They did nothing but improve. I actually like the order like it is. I think it's going to be somewhat similar to that this year. I think Cincinnati's going to come out on top. Pittsburgh will be second, and Cleveland's going to find some way to mess it up and
Finish last?
probably.
Okay.
So you don't think the Ravens are better than fourth?
It depends on if Lamar can stay healthy. If
Yeah.
if Lamar stays healthy, that's a much better. I mean, obviously, but
Yeah.
that team's going to depend on Lamar's health and if he can stay healthy. If he gets hurt again, they don't have nothing. But what also scares me about Baltimore is they have no receivers.
Yeah.
They traded off their best receiver. He has no receivers, so I think they're going to be towards the bottom just because they don't have the receiving. I mean, Rashad Bateman is their number one guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't even know who that guy is, but I think Cincinnati's gonna stay on top. Joe Burrow's gonna come back out and prove that he's the real deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the best offensive tackle in the game, as we've said for the last year and a half. So they've got the best left tackle in the game. So I think they're gonna stay at the top.
Cincinnati at the top for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I had a feeling.
So I agree with Keith. I think it's Cincinnati. But I think Pittsburgh gives them a run for their money. I think if they got a great defense, which I think is that is the key to that team for Pittsburgh is their defense. But if they have some of that young receiver core and Deontay Johnson and
Claypool.
Chase Claypool. If they step up, like they look like they had glimpses of doing when Juju was there. If they step up and fill that 1-2 spot, I think that gives a good target to whether it's Pickett, whether it's Mitch, or whoever they have at quarterback. And then I think
I heard recently that Mason Rudolph's not even in the conversation right now.
Yeah, so,
which I do think Mason Rudolph that year he got thrown into the fire in 2019. I don't think he was set up for success.
So, but then I think they have the best running back in the North is at the Steelers and Najee Harris. I think
Najee Harris is going to be one of the best backs in the game.
He was top 5 in the league last year.
I think his workload might reduce a little bit, but did he fumble last year? What do you have? Maybe one?
He fumbled. I think it took
in the playoffs.
It took
It's like 300 plus touches.
It was an insane amount of touches. I think it took all the way to like week 11 or 12.
It was in the playoffs.
Yeah, according to that, he didn't fumble in the regular
He
season.
didn't fumble in the regular season.
Okay, yeah. So the Browns game was the first time he fumbled.
Yeah. So I think you have the best back in the AFC North on the Steelers.
And he's a very good all-purpose back too.
Yes. So if they can figure, I think their weak point right now on their team, and I think everybody said has been at quarterback. But if you could get one of those guys to step up, I really do think they're going to give Cincinnati a run for their money. But I think Cincinnati has enough on offense to propel them past the Steelers and past that Steelers defense. And like he said, Baltimore, it all depends on whether or not Lamar can stay healthy. If he does, of course, it makes that team threefold better.
Yeah.
But I still think they finish below the Browns. I think Baltimore finishes last, even with a healthy Lamar.
Well, again, what's going to hurt them is no receivers.
Yeah, I don't think they have the offensive weapons to keep up. And Cleveland can make it happen on offense.
It's one of those things where like people are talking about with. I think let me get this out of the way. Cleveland, I think the AFC North is going to finish the exact same way. Cincinnati's going to be on top. I think the Steelers will be in second, and I agree with that. I think the Steelers will have a potential to win the AFC North going into the last 5 or 6 weeks or whatever.
So
I think Mr. Trubisky is going to do a lot better than what people expect, just because it's his time to shine again. I think he knows this is his opportunity to really cement his ticket to say I am a legitimate NFL quarterback. I don't think the Ravens. I think the Ravens could finish on top of the Browns if they, like you said, if they stay healthy. But the lack of receiving core is still going to hurt Lamar Jackson, no matter how many plays he can make on the ground. And then the thing about Cleveland that Cleveland fans that are Deshaun Watson fans, the shitbags that they are talking to Deshaun Watson is such an electric quarterback that they're going to be so great now. You still have to play 6 games without the fucker.
Yeah.
And you got Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, but everybody's saying that
they got Joshua Dobbs and Josh Rosen as well. They can pick whatever fucking loser they want to throw.
Yeah. Seriously. You still got 6 games to play with the biggest question mark at quarterback.
People are still saying they're going to go 5-1 in those 6 games.
They're out of their mind, dude.
There's no way.
Experts are saying they're going to go 5-1 in those 6 games.
Dude.
I mean,
there's no way.
One game's a guarantee when they're playing the Jets. So I mean, they're definitely going to beat the Jets. But I think
Dallas ain't beat the Jets 2 of the last 3 times they played them.
I know.
And they talk about Dallas winning the Super Bowl. I was the one choosing Dallas as the way too early, and people are legit talking about Dallas winning the Super Bowl now. But
let's pull out the Browns schedule real quick.
All right, I got you right here.
We'll try to avoid it being a shit on the Browns video, but
I'll give my 4-2. So for that, I'm with all of y'all. I think it's Cincinnati. I'm a little bit different. I actually think the Ravens are going to have a chance to finish second, Pittsburgh 3, then Cleveland 4. And the only reason I say the Ravens, I want to see this healthy Ravens teams back. The Ravens have gone out and added so much defense through the draft and free agency with getting Calais Campbell that I think the Baltimore Ravens defense might actually rival as good a defense as Pittsburgh's going to have, even with Pittsburgh adding Miles Jack, linebacker, this year. So
yeah, but go ahead.
I'm with you all. I agree the receiving core is not there. Mark Andrews is your number 1 receiver, and he's a freaking tight end. Granted, he's a great tight end, top 2 in fantasy probably. If Baltimore's going to win games by literally controlling the football, running out the clock, and playing great defense. If Baltimore gets behind by 2 touchdowns, they might as well just put the L on the schedule for that, because it's just going to be impossible for them to pass their way back into games. But if you let Baltimore hang around for 3 quarters, you're probably in trouble, because they're probably going to be able to win it with great defense in the run game. But here's your
so they go.
first 5.
The Browns go to Carolina, then they've got the Jets at home, Steelers at home, go to Atlanta, and then
the Chargers
Chargers at home.
So they're saying this is the game that they're going to lose.
And they're going to win the
That's
first
the only game they're going to lose is the Chargers.
So they're saying they're going to beat Pittsburgh
They're saying they're going to beat Pittsburgh
on Thursday night.
at Pittsburgh.
It's at Cleveland.
It's at Cleveland.
All right, that's Cleveland. I'm sorry.
The only away games they've got in that stretch are Atlanta and Carolina.
Which should be 2 wins.
They'll go.
Well, hell, you never know with Carolina.
I think
Baker
Carolina
Mayfield
could beat
going
them.
out there.
I think Carolina
I
could
think
beat
they're
them.
overlooking Carolina.
You know what?
You get Carolina back this year with a healthy McCaffrey. And if Baker's going to be the starter, there's no question about it. Baker alone is 10 times better than Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get a decent quarterback out there with a healthy McCaffrey. You've got DJ Moore on the outside, Robbie Anderson on the outside.
I think they're overlooking Carolina.
Their defense is better.
Still questionable.
I think Carolina can go in there and can go in and beat Cleveland at home.
And I think the Steelers are a little bit overlooked. Atlanta's just.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
Desmond Ritter's going to be starting by that point, so don't
there's going to be a legitimate chance that the Atlanta Falcons might finish second in that NFC South, and they might.
You think Atlanta's a sleeper?
I think Atlanta's a sleeper, man. And
with Marcus Mariota as their quarterback.
I believe there's a lot of
with no receivers.
There's plenty of receivers. Kenny Pickett, or Kyle Pitts, whatever his name is.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even know.
He's fine. He's down.
All of a sudden, the potential Steelers starting quarterback is a seed down in Atlanta. On Kenny Pickett.
Kyle Pitts is legit. Hey man, Demir Bird's legit. All right.
Yeah.
I think I probably did it there too.
And they
But
have
I mean, the thing about Baker.
Oh, they have Drake London. I was trying to think. I was like,
The crazy thing is, though, I mean, Baker has shown in the games that he actually has a grudge against teams
He
He
plays
plays
well.
pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And I know what team he's got a grudge against right now.
I mean, you have to realize when you look at this that the most expensive ticket for an entire Cleveland Browns game this season is at Carolina the first week.
just because it is the
Baker
matchup.
Mayfield.
It's the
Yeah.
matchup.
Yeah. So I
They have to go to Baker's house.
I do think that
His
each-
new house.
His new house.
Yeah.
The new progressive house.
Oh, God, please no. Please no. He's going to be in banking commercials now for Bank of America.
Yeah.
Because Charlotte's the baking capital of the United States.
I know. But I think each one of these teams has a weakness, right? It's clearly Baltimore's wide receiver core, Pittsburgh's offensive line, Cleveland's quarterback room right now. And then for Cincinnati, I would say it's also probably a combination of the offensive line, which they have fixed up a little bit, 2 free agents and a draft pick. But, I mean, the secondary is also horrific. Like, you look at, I mean,
Eli Apple can't cover.
you look at this defense for Cincinnati, and you know Trey Hendrickson. But outside of that, like, who else here screams elite player, right? There's really nobody.
No, Mousier's not bad. Von Bell's not a bad safety.
Yeah.
Eli Apple's god awful.
Eli Apple's in prime form. Jamar Chase burnt him the first day of spring,
Yeah.
or first day of training camp the other day. But I mean, you look at all these other teams, and you look at Cleveland. You talk about Myles Garrett, right? You talk about Jadeveon Clowney, Jeremy Owasu, Denzel Ward's a top corner. I mean, people like Greg Newsome at the other corner. So I mean,
I would say
who's that?
I'm gonna say Greg Newsome was the guy I was talking about. Don't they have who do they have over there at safety now?
They have Richard McCoy from Georgia, who's actually not technically one of their starting safeties.
Yeah,
Greg
Greg
Delpit, who's from LSU, is a really great player as well coming up. You look at Pittsburgh, T.J. Watt, Cameron Hayward,
Devin
Miles
Bush.
Jack, Devin Bush, Terrell Edmonds, Mika Fitzpatrick, like all of these names.
Devin's on the hot seat, so look out for this being a contract season for him.
Devin Bush is.
Yeah.
So, and then you go to Baltimore, so you talk about Marcus Peters, Kyle Hamilton's probably the best pick of the entire fucking draft. Marlon Humphreys, Patrick Queen at linebacker, Calais Campbell now at defensive end. So that's my thing. You look at these other 3 teams across your division, you can name some guys that are
have been
Pro Bowl players.
Yeah, Pro Bowl defense.
Now
players.
Cincinnati, who did make it to the Super Bowl, don't get me wrong, but is this team going to be able to produce what they did last year? There's some questions there.
So, but we all agree Cincinnati's at the top, and then from
Just
there,
a combination of difference, like Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I think you said Pittsburgh too.
Pittsburgh's
Right?
I think everybody.
Pittsburgh gets the wild card.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we all agree Pittsburgh was finishing second.
So I said Cleveland last. Who did y'all say was last?
I got Baltimore.
I
But
said,
I think it's going to be a battle between Baltimore and the Clevelands.
Yeah, it was a toss up between the two.
Okay.
The
So-
Clevelands.
All right. Hit us in the comments. Let us know who you think will win the AFC North, and if you would like to, please like, comment, and subscribe.